Good morning, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. We're doing a cattle move out of one paddock into the other. We've really had a spout of bitter weather here. It was 17 below the night before last. I think last night it got down to 8 below. I mean, it's just brutal out here. But we had snow on top before it got really cold, and so the snow is actually insulating the ground. It's soft under here, believe it or not. You would think 17 below, everything would be frozen hard, but it's actually, the stuff right on top, of course, is froze. But you step on that ground with a tractor, you're going to bury it. I mean, we had some old bales that were 2 years old stored down on posts, and I took the Dodge truck down there with the bale bed on it, a hydraulic bale bed. I didn't get 20 feet. I backed out of there because I sunk through. I mean, it was leaving ruts. Thank goodness I stopped when I did, or I may not have got out. Anyway, came back and got this. This is our trusty bale unroller, and let me tell you, this is the original one. I still use it. It's like my old coveralls. The new ones are a lot better. They've got the geared boat winch on them and a lot easier to use, but you know, it's kind of like an old friend. I just, I can't give it up. Anyway, the cattle are going on to hay this morning. We unrolled that and spread it out because it was sitting on those posts. And you can see when you set it up on posts, even though this hay was 2 years old, and we probably had one of the wettest winters on record, and we had a good growing season. We had rain when we needed it. So this hay saw a ton of rain on it. And people say, but Greg, you stored it outside, it probably all rotted. Well, it doesn't look rotten to me. Folks, that's what happens when you store your hay up on posts, and they ought to be posts like oak or hickory or whatever you use. Make sure that when you get done with them, you stack them up. Don't leave the post laying on the ground for the whole summer, or you won't have a post left in probably 2 years. They just rot away. But this is pretty cool. We had, well, on this farm we had 7 bales left from last winter. And they were old bales, and I sure don't want to carry them a third year. We're getting ready to move these cows out of here in a couple of days. I'm like, let's go ahead and get rid of that old hay. This is probably this is where we first started unrolling it. And you can see there's a few rotten spots on the very bottom. But you know what? The cows will pick through that. But if they don't pick through, they're going to stomp on the ground. That's feeding my soil. But the bales were older. The nutrients probably down on a little bit. But man, there's some, I mean, look at this hay. That's got red clover in it. Isn't that beautiful? That's red clover and orchard grass. So we gave him 1 extra bale. We gave him 4 instead of 3. That's just because it was so old, and you know, I was a little bit concerned about the quality of it. So I gave him quantity. I gave him more, and the cattle are going after it. I was supposed to hit 40 today, and so we're tickled to death about that. And tomorrow we're going to hit 50 out here. So we're really excited about that. The snow will be gone, and the next 10-day forecast looks like it's going to be above freezing, so we should be able to graze for the next 10 or 12 days, which is a nice reprieve. And that's what I tell people, if you can get you a little insurance, hay, whatever, and you get some snowy spells like this, it sure expands your grazing, your stockpile, by being able to feed a little hay every couple of days. I wouldn't want to be locked into this all winter. There's no way. I would sell my cows if I had to do this every day all winter. I'm just not going to do it. But it don't hurt to do it every now and then if you need to stretch out your winter stockpile and build up some carbon. This is a lease farm. It's never been limed or fertilized since I've had it. And it wasn't before I got it either. So we've had this about 20 years. It's a good farm. I mean, there's some really good grass in here, but we target certain paddocks each year. We do this practice right here. Folks, you're putting down fertility. And I'm not putting it in a barn. In other words, the cows don't want to barn and poop, and they got to haul that crap out. The pee and the poop and the animal impact is right out here where it belongs, on the pasture. This is what happened for thousands of years before white man ever arrived on the continent. It was happening with buffalo. Now, there wasn't anybody feeding the buffalo hay, of course, but the animals were outside. They weren't stuck in a barn somewhere. And everybody thinks the animals are destroying the environment. They absolutely are not. Not when they're treated correctly and they're allowed to be animals. Animals belong outside. And that's why, we don't have a lot of issues with health out here, because the animals are tough. You put a little pressure on them, and the ones that can make it, and the ones that don't, you get rid of. If you're always propping them up, I get tickled. People say, well, I got to feed them grain to keep my beef cattle alive. If you got to feed them grain through the winter to keep your beef cows alive, you got the wrong beef cattle. Shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to make it what's out there, and when you can't get to what's out there, if you got snow or ice on it, feed a little insurance hay, and then go on. But folks, we're getting ready to hit March Mud Month. We still got some stockpile left in front of us, thank goodness. Because you don't want to feed hay if you don't have to through the whole month of March in mud. But if you can spread your cows out and move them across the stockpile, that sure helps big time. Cows are all happy. Everything here. Look at that fat calf. My God, it's a fat bull. He's gonna make a good bull. Yeah, it's just beautiful morning. A little bit windy, but it's not too bad out here. We're gonna sign off here, and everyone have a great day. And this is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farms signing off.